24 Slade, and I'm here. It's Tim and my nephew Jason. And Jason has a great story, and hopefully it'll inspire some people or help some people out that might be in a difficult spot or going through some stuff. And then, that's why I brought him on. And we're gonna try to make it a multi-part series. So let's get started. What up, Jace? How you doing?
What's up? Good, I'm good. I'm just here.
Yeah, finally.
Can pay my uncle a visit,
Yeah, yeah, finally
spend some
back.
time with him for the first time in quite a while.
Yeah, quite a while. Yeah, we
Yeah,
we met. We talked a little bit here and there, but it's been actually a while since we actually hung out or just been here talking.
yeah.
Yeah. So, we'll run through like a quick um like outline of how like what happened and like what you've been through and stuff. Like so like
Okay.
so I guess like we'll talk about like your growing up and then like what happened and what happened, what you went through kind of, and then where you ended up, like, because he went to prison and he was in prison for what, 24 years?
26.
26 years. Yeah, and he went to jail when he was 16
Yep.
and he got out when he was
42.
42 years old. So long time, went through the system. And so we're going to talk about that. So we'll start out with like childhood and like growing up and you grew up as I guess a normal kid kind of, right?
I mean, yeah, for the most
Yeah.
part, you
But
know.
like, you stayed with us a while. Like, you kind of lived with me and my mom. So your grandma,
Mhm.
you became the favorite, favorite grandson. That's you got that. You got that title.
Yeah, I mean, I was the first grandson, the only grandson for what, 12, 13 years. So
Yeah.
I kind of, that title was just bestowed on me,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and hey, I mean,
Yeah, Jordan tried. Well, no, Jordan didn't even try. He's like good he was good number two. He just went number two instead. And then there's Ernie and Michael, but I don't know if they're in the running for the top. I mean, Ernie's in the podium, I think maybe.
I think it was just kind of a by default thing. If you're the only one for that long, I mean, it's kind of like just, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you lived with us, and then off and on, pretty much you were there for like a while, weren't you? Like,
Yeah, I mean, so, I mean, I guess, growing up, I kind of was raised in like a single parent home,
mhm.
with my mother. Um, she was probably about, I think, 22 when she had me.
Yeah,
My dad, and the thing is, it just whatever, for whatever reason, it didn't work out. What I was told is that, my mom was kind of just trying to get away from everything, their kind of party lifestyle,
yeah,
and
yeah. That's
my
what they were
dad
doing.
didn't want to,
Yeah,
and so he chose to leave, and
yeah,
so my mom was kind of forced to raise me on her own.
yeah.
So uh, my grandmother, my uncle's mom, she was kind of really there in my life as well ever since I was a kid. So when I talk about my grandma, that's who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
She was kind of always like a rock in my life.
Hmm.
She was always there for me. I could always count on her through thick and thin. Whatever it was that I was going through, I could always give her a call
Yeah.
and she'd be there at the drop of a hat to
Yeah, yeah.
come.
That's one thing about my mom. Like, she's really like, if you can take what she's gonna tell you, because she's not gonna pull no punches. She's gonna be like 100, whatever it is. She's gonna speak her mind, because she's gonna speak her mind,
Yes, she
and she'll tell you, and
is.
she'll tell you. So she's told like my friend, like how like my friend Mark and my other friend Mark, and they come to the house, and you know if she don't like what you're doing, or if you're doing something that's not what she wants, she'll tell you.
Hmm.
But she'll she's not gonna. But if you like, there's a couple of my friends that had problems and they like didn't have no got kicked out and have nowhere to live. Like, couch was always there. You know, my mom would just, "Hey, there you
I
go for,
remember.
like what, a couple guys, they like
Yeah.
didn't have nowhere to stay, and she's like, for a couple weeks or whatever you need to get back on her feet, and it was good.
Yeah.
So she's that person, and yeah, if you don't get on her bad side, there's some
Yeah.
people like, if you get on her bad side, oof, just stay there.
Yeah,
You just stay
that's
there.
she can hold a grudge,
Yeah,
that's for sure.
yes, yeah, she does.
Um, but yeah, so um, I grew up mainly in the cities of like Almani, Ballpark Park. Those were the two cities that I kind of went back and forth between. From like a baby all the way till I think I was about fifth grade. Uh, I was in Almani, went to Cogswell Elementary School, and you know, that environment wasn't that great, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
I mean, grew up kind of in the neighborhood.
yeah.
It was I seen a lot of stuff growing up. I remember vividly one time, hearing the all these sirens and the cops and the ambulance and all that like down the street, and then just kind of wondering what was going on, and the next morning coming out and go walk into school and seeing this lady with her watering hose just washing down blood off the sidewalk,
Yeah.
and later on at school I had found out that some guy had got stabbed and died,
Hmm.
and so this is kind of what I was introduced to at a young age.
Yeah.
This was like a way of life. But my grandma was also there for me, and she kind of, at different times during my childhood, she kind of took me in, and while my mom was kind of getting her life together, and so I was, that was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool to be with her and with you, and my dad here and there, off and on,
Yeah, when he
and
was there, when he was there.
yeah, so
We try,
like
we try to keep it clean, try to hide the stuff, some of the bad stuff that's going on, try and like make it nice. There was
yeah,
some stuff going on, but
but
we kind of,
grandma was like, I always knew I was loved by her,
yeah,
without a shadow of a doubt. I knew that.
yeah,
But she didn't show her love in like physical ways.
yeah,
She didn't. She's
yes.
not the type of person to come up to you and hug you and,
Mm,
oh, mijo, I love you,
yeah,
and
now she
this
does.
and that.
Now she does.
Yeah, yeah, she
Yeah.
has got a
Yeah,
little
she's changed.
more loving in her older age.
Yes.
But at that time, that wasn't a thing, like
Yeah.
that household was kind of like just very even keeled,
Yeah.
emotionless.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of, it was just a lot of, hey, suck it up, you know, be a man,
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
don't cry, everything's gonna be all right type of
Yeah.
attitude.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I learned very early on that, like, you got to be tough.
Yeah.
You got to be tough to like make it out there in the streets and in that world, and in like my family.
Yeah.
You know, um, so on top of that, it was like, my mom, she was a young mother, and like she didn't really know how to handle me.
Yeah.
She was very angry. She hit me a lot, and that was kind of okay back then.
Yeah.
It was acceptable, and but the thing is, it hurt me, you know. It kind of like built this wall kind of between us,
Yeah.
you know, where I kind of like stopped trusting her like early on because I was never sure of when I was going to get hit or for what or why or even understand why I was getting hit, you know. It was just that was just how it was. And so I mean, I learned very early on too that violence is kind of like an acceptable way to solve your problems, you know, because if you're angry, hey, you hit somebody.
Yeah.
And
I tried to do that, but yeah.
yeah, but I mean, that
Yeah.
was kind of very prevalent back in the 80s and
Yeah.
90s, you know, so um, and on top of that, I mean, the truth is, I had a lot of anger and resentment towards my dad.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, he chose not to be there, and the little interactions that we did have, it was just very like there was no meaningful interactions between us growing up.
I could see that. It's
You
kind of
know?
same with me. It's kind of, not with me and Jordan, but me and Anthony, my brother. It was different. It was actually like I don't really do this, but because I don't like put myself. But my like me growing up and the how it grew up is kind of the way it is now. Like me and Jordan have a really good bond. You
Hmm.
know, we're always, real good. I mean, you guys probably see it when me and Jordan talk and we play around and we're together a lot. But like my relationships, all my relationships that I had, the few I had, because I had that money. So that was different. This is the way I interact with people and like I don't show it too much emotion that way, and it was just different. So I could see the same thing with Anthony. Me and Anthony aren't the same. And then my mom, she wasn't really like, I don't know, she was never like, if you did something, you did something. Like when I raced, I was like, oh yeah, you won. Like, cool, good,
Yeah.
good. It wasn't like some people like, it was something. So it wasn't really that big of a push. Or she just did what she had to do, try to raise you
Hmm.
right. But that hugging was really never there.
No.
Like I never like some people like they get a kiss goodbye when you leave school, and I wasn't that. When I grew up, it was my mom was working because same thing one. So my mom would leave to work. I'd be at home, get ready for school, and then go to school.
Hmm.
Come home, I'm still at work.
Yeah.
And the same thing. And Anthony was doing his thing. He was still going to school or in the army or the Marines and stuff like that. So yeah, Anthony was different the whole time. Like your dad was like your dad is really the guy who like your dad and his friends, Glenn and all those guys. Like those guys really kept me away from drugs
Mm.
because I watched them like seriously like they did. I don't know how they're still alive, but they've done every drug imaginable except for heroin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I seen them come home like on angel dust and cools, and we just look at them and like, wow, like look at this, like that's fun. You know what I mean?
Well, at
You know?
least you learned from their mistakes.
Yeah,
You know, not a lot of people do, you know?
yeah, that's what it is. Like even like Mark, me and Mark would be there at the house, and they'd be like this, like zombies. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And my mom would get mad, and she'd be like yelling at him. I'm like, what are you doing? He can't even. He's not gonna know what you're saying because he'd just be like looking at her, and she'd be yelling at him. She was, I just have to get it out. I'm like, okay. So I think
Yeah.
that's part of how she coped with things because there was no way of getting through.
Yeah.
I mean, Anthony never stopped.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so he's
So,
the same thing. Even when you were around, he was still in and out, in and out. He really didn't do what like yeah, he didn't really do all the stuff. Even though he was still living at the house the day when he was there, and you were there living there. He really didn't, put that. But I think that's part of how we were raised
yeah,
to be
I get
independent
that,
and to
you
be
know?
independent, and that might not have been what you needed. You might need more, you know,
Hmm.
because that's our mom. Your mom didn't do that for you, maybe, and
Yeah.
so we got it from our grandmother, or your grandmother, and but you that missing link between you and your mom and you and your dad's not being,
Yeah.
you know, because you used to go to my dad's house. We when we used to hang out, we used to go to my dad's, and
Hmm.
you know, we used to like you met my brother Arlen,
Yeah.
and you met Robin, and we used to go down there for like, because it's funny, my mom still hangs around, like she still talks to my stepmom,
Hmm.
which is another, like that's my mom. So that part of the family was way different. Like that part of the family, my stepmom, not my dad, not my dad. My dad's kind of like my mom. Like
Yeah.
they have that same. That's how. That's the loving part, but it's not. It's a tough love. It is. It's a real tough
Yes,
love,
it
and they,
is.
but you know they love you, but
Hmm.
it's that tough thing. And then the way they got along wasn't great at first, but then it grew into like whatever,
Hmm.
you know, like, I'm gonna be here. So they just whatever, like did their thing.
Yeah.
So that when you went over there, it was different. Like there were hugs,
Hmm.
that whole like that just it was a whole different environment. So even now when I go over there, like Granny's she's a little different. Like you can see her changing because I guess she keeps saying she's getting closer to passing on, but now she's still like you always knew. Even like all my friends that came over, you knew that she was there for, if you were part of the my friends or whatever, you were there. And
Yeah.
even Anthony's friends, like all of them.
Yeah, for sure.
She treat everybody until you did something wrong, you were good.
Yeah.
She would treat you good. She would, you come over, you hungry, and food would be made. We always had enchiladas. We always had burritos, tacos,
Yes,
whatever it is.
that was
Yes,
her love language
yes,
for
yeah.
sure,
She
was
cook.
food.
Yeah,
Like
she.
she will stop anything and cook you a meal.
Yes.
It didn't matter what time it was, whether it was 12 in the afternoon or 12 at night,
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
She did that for your dad. Your dad would come over and she would. Anthony knows how to cook,
mm-hmm.
but she would go in there and she'd make him some. She'd be mad as hell at him, but she'd make him something to eat, and then she'd go and she had to be up at go to work in the morning,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
she'd do her thing, and yeah, that's yeah, I think that's, well, for my opinion, which probably doesn't make too much, but that's how I see it. You're like there was just two different zones,
Yeah,
and then to go to back and forth, it was just different. Cause
it
I
was. And I mean, I guess kind of all of that combined and just those. Like the truth is, whether or not you've seen it growing up, like I had a lot of anger inside of me, you
I
know?
seen. I mean, like when you were younger, you would get mad, but like seemed like my mom or your grandmother, she had a way to like calm you down, and you'd be different. Like I don't know how it was. Like you'd be mad, but when she was there, she'd try to like she would get upset and she would try not to escalate it and maybe change it, or
Hmm.
she'd do something different to maybe take your mind off of it. And then you weren't that bad at the house. Like, that's
Yeah.
why I didn't know. That's why I didn't really know anything was wrong, because at the house you were fine. You would get mad here and there, but
Hmm.
you never disrespected her or like yelled at her. I think you did once.
Well, that was the thing.
I think you did
I
once.
had a lot of respect for
Yeah.
her,
You,
you
you
know?
yelled at her once.
Maybe,
But then she told you
maybe,
something, and then like it was okay, it was squashed. Like she told you what she wants, and you
yeah.
knew, and then you know,
Or maybe you would come in and threaten me, or, you know,
yeah, I think I told you once. I said
a
like, yeah,
time or two, you
yeah,
know?
yeah. Because I mean, that's what it is. Like like really, she's not doing anything to you. She's just trying to like I think I told you once like don't. I even told your dad like he'd come home all whatever, and he once he grabbed her
Mm,
like because she was just like she's right here yelling,
mhm.
and he grabbed her, and I got up, came over there because I'm like, dude, that's not gonna happen. Not
Yeah,
not to moms, whatever.
yeah.
Not gonna happen. And I told you, I said, hey, she's here for you. She's gonna do it. You don't yell or raise your voice or threaten your grandmother.
Mhm.
And you're like, you're kind of mad, but I guess you've seen it, and you were like, okay. And I think that was only like once or twice that,
Yeah,
but it could have went from something else. I mean, I'm not gonna go and like throw you around and fuck, I mean, that's
yeah,
just. I think you could just talk to somebody or just in the right tone and the right way, and then it's an understanding.
yeah. No, for sure. Because I mean, I always did respect her, like, and I respected you,
Yeah.
like so. Um, Yeah, for sure. That's a reality, you know. But like I was saying though, it's like I had a lot of anger in me, you know, like especially towards my dad. Like
Yeah,
I just really, I mean, the truth is, I hated him
yeah,
for a large part of my life, you know, including my childhood, because I felt that he abandoned me.
yeah,
You know, I felt that, and it hurt me even more because of the fact that he was there,
yeah.
but he wasn't there.
Yeah, I could see how that's.
You know, it
Yeah,
was like literally when I'm with my mom, he's literally 5 minutes away,
yeah,
but he wouldn't take the time to come and see me or spend time with me or anything, you know. So that that hurt me, you know, and
yeah,
that's just a reality. And then the times that when I was with, you know, you guys at the house or grandma, and he was there, like I said, there was no real meaningful connection, and there was no like it was just a lot of sitting in silence in the room,
yeah. He
and
would just watch TV and watch his
yeah,
fun, watch his like sports and
and that was the only way we could ever connect was through sports.
yeah, because
That was our one way of having a conversation.
yeah. Well, he
Um,
took you to play basketball every once in a while. Only because we were
yeah,
playing basketball anyway. So well, I took you to go play basketball, and he would be there playing,
exactly.
and he
So,
would try
I
and
mean,
yeah,
there was little things here and there that he tried to do,
yeah,
but it was already too late.
yeah.
You know, like that, the cat was out the bag, and I was just very resentful towards him, you know, and
I could see that.
I, and so it was like when I was going to school, you know, it was a lot of all this anger that I had inside, and um, would just come out, you know, would come out in different ways. I was getting in trouble since elementary, you know, like I would yell at my teachers. I was getting in fights. I was getting, you know, detention and suspensions and all that type of stuff from a very early age. And when I got into junior high, that's when things kind of really started to escalate. Like I was just like at school, I was just hanging around with all the negative peers. You know, it was people were like joining gangs, and some were just like taggers and
You're
things of that
you're
nature. It was, but it,
you were supposed to be a basketball player. You'd be
yeah,
dribbling all the time, shooting around. To be
I
that guy.
love basketball. I mean,
Yeah,
hey, look, you know what I
you
mean?
were supposed to be that guy then.
I'm still a huge basketball
Yeah.
fan. You know, I mean,
Mm.
Michael Jordan was my hero. You
Yeah,
know,
I know, I know. I remember it used to be like when we played basketball. 'Cause we used to play for what, from 2 o'clock to 11 o'clock every day, right? We were at the
yeah,
park,
for
and you'd be
real.
shooting around, and you'd be there with all the guys, and
Yeah, I mean, those are some great memories of
yeah,
mine. You know,
yeah.
um,
Your
and
boy Terry.
yeah, yeah,
I said, Terry, if you're listening, this dude call me or he DM me, dude. I want to see what's going on with you. I heard some stuff that you did, and Terry did some bad. He tried to get a hold of you when you were in.
yeah, he did.
Yeah,
He wrote me a couple times,
yeah,
and but I wrote him back and just never heard anything back. You
well,
know,
because when he got like, cause he got in trouble, and then he went. I think he went to prison also.
is that right?
Yeah, and then that's when he got out, and he's like, "What happened to Jace?" Then I told him. Well, we told him what happened. And then that's when he wrote you,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he got in trouble again.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, he got in trouble with because the first time he got in trouble, he was doing some shit, and then they sicked the dog on him.
Wow.
I don't know if I can get called for this. Okay, so they sicked the dog on him. Dog bit him. Bit the dog back.
What?
Yeah, I
Wow.
remember when I was talking because when he got out. So he got out, and I was talking to him. He's like, "Yeah, damn dog bit me. I bit him back." I'm like, "Terry, really?" He's like, "Man, whatever." So Then got him. So then I guess he was trying to go straight and be good. And then like I guess when we got him, I guess he wrote to you. And then a couple of weeks later, he got in trouble again. Went back. And I haven't
Oh,
heard from him since. But
oh, okay, okay.
yeah, we try to, uh, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, so,
Oh shoot, that's not good. It's supposed to be on silent. But anyways.
um, the thing is, so around those like junior high years, 12, 13, that's when I kind of really started like messing up, getting in a lot of trouble.
Mhm.
It was I was living in Bone Park at the time, and um, I had a lot of friends that were there in the neighborhood, and they were all starting to join the neighborhood gang, and but at the same time I still had a lot of friends from Almani that
Yeah.
I grew up with that were also joining that neighborhood gang, and so it was kind of I was kind of like stuck in the middle type thing,
Yeah.
where it was um like you're here with us, like you should be here with us
Yeah.
type thing,
Yeah.
but um, I just didn't want that,
Hmm.
like I didn't want to be from that gang, and I didn't want to. I was trying to, like you said, like the sports. That was my aspiration, I wanted to. I had a dream of playing,
Yeah.
sports, like going to college and all that type of stuff,
Yeah.
and but at the same time, I was still caught in the middle of all that. And there was a lot of times where, I found myself in like very dangerous situations, where the neighborhood gang were just like kind of threatening me and like, either you're going to be from the neighborhood
Hmm.
or, we're going to hurt you.
Yeah.
And I just really wouldn't do it. I was just like, nah, I'm not gonna do that, and I didn't care. I got in a lot of fights because of it,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I still got respect. I got respect because they were like, well, he's down for his. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's gonna fight. He's gonna fight back. And I remember one time I got into like 3 fights in one day with all these guys,
Yeah.
and they're all older than me. And it was like just crazy. I remember thinking like what the hell is going on here, But it kind of started making me have this resentment towards them,
Yeah.
like what the hell, like like we've always been cool, and now all of a sudden, like you guys are treating me like this,
Yeah.
and so I mean, luckily, I had grandma, and my mom kind of was getting scared for me, that I was getting in a lot of trouble and things of that nature. She could kind of see where it was headed, and um, so she kind of sent me over there, when I started high school. And so now I was back in Almani, but, you know, made the decision to go to Rosemead High School
Yeah.
because it was like, I wanted to do good, like I wanted to do something positive with my life. That was a way of kind of keeping me away from the homies,
Yeah.
and things of that nature. And so while I was there for like 2 years in high school, and I was doing really well, playing sports and doing okay at school, but I was so focused on sports that it kind of kept me preoccupied, you know. And yeah, I had my boy Terry,
Yeah. Terry was
It's,
one
it's
who rose me
funny
too,
that you
right?
brought him up earlier. You know, he was like that was my best friend. That was
Yeah.
my boy. You know.
Yeah. You guys just play all the time together.
Yeah, we were always at the park. We were at the school. You know, we were always just doing you know,
Yeah.
kid stuff. You
Six
know.
foot six and 6 foot. Well, hell, how we 6'4"? Couldn't dunk.
Yeah,
Remember? He had about 2 inch vertical.
yeah. Skinny
Yeah.
as a pole,
Yeah.
but
Terry was funny.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was my boy
Yeah.
though.
Yeah. That's Terry. Yeah.
I had a lot of love for him, you know, and
He was good. He was good. I mean, he's probably still a good dude, but he was really good, dude. Like you guys really worked together, and you guys had like kept out of
yeah,
trouble.
and so it was like, but he ended up moving.
Yeah.
You know, he ended up moving, and when he left, like it took me a lot of time and a lot of
Yeah.
years to really come to this understanding, but like that hurt me.
Yeah. Why? 'Cause, I mean, I could see why.
Because it kind of brought up those abandonment issues that I already had with my dad, you know?
Yeah.
And so I felt kind of alone again, like, because I felt like I didn't really have anybody that understood me,
Yeah.
that was there for me, that had my back, you
I
know?
was there. I know, but I didn't show it. I know. But I didn't
You
show it.
were, and the truth is, like, I mean, you were more of a father figure to me than my dad ever was, you know, and like I really respected you, you know, like I had a lot of love for you, and I still do to this day, and you know,
I
I
mean,
really do
yeah,
appreciate everything that you did for me
yeah.
because
I really didn't. I mean, I would have did more for you if I'd known, but I didn't know a lot that was going on. Like, nobody told me what was going on.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But I
But
would
the
have
thing
tried.
is, you always were there. You always included me whenever you were doing something that was fun or that was,
Did
you
we take you
know,
riding?
I never rode. That
You
was
went bicycle
you
riding.
took me, yeah, bicycle
Okay,
riding.
but I never took a dirt bike yet.
No, you never really took me dirt bike riding because I don't know. I think my mom didn't want me to
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something. But I always wanted to, but I just, you know, like so. But yeah, you always included me in everything, and you know, we were always like having a good time, you know.
Yeah,
And whenever we went somewhere, and you know, you would bring Terry too,
yeah.
and just
Terry's
you
fine.
know, just so
You guys are kind of the same because remember he was his mom by himself, and
yeah.
his dad. He never. I don't even think he's seen his dad.
Oh,
I guess dad was gone for a while, so you guys kind of did. You guys were kind of the same. You guys hung out, and he was across the street, but
yeah,
you guys hung out and would play and hang out with the dogs in the back and
yeah.
Granny's
And
dogs. And, yeah. What about your dog? Your dog though.
what?
Growing up, dog. What's his dog's name?
Oh, my dog?
No, our dog. The dog that lived with us, the little white one.
Oh, dog.
Dog.
Dog the dog.
Yeah. What do you want to name it? Dog. Okay, that's his name.
I mean, that was a kid name, bro.
Yeah.
That wasn't a
That's
very original thinker. You
that's
know
the
what
fun.
I
That's the funny thing. Grandma tells you, "Hey, what do you want to name dog? Dog." Okay, that's it. That's his name.
mean?
And what was the
Yeah.
cat's name? Oh man, that cat. I hate that cat. Anyways,
Which one?
the first one we had that you named, I hated that cat, dude. I hate
Oh,
cats.
Murphy?
Murphy.
Murphy. Yeah, that's when RoboCop was a big thing.
Yeah.
So I named him Murphy.
Murphy.
And then there was a bunch of other cats
Yeah.
because, you know, cats, you can't just have one cat. There's like a million of them.
Yeah. I'm allergic to cats, and Grandma said, "Kept
I
bring
was
them."
allergic to cats too at
Yeah.
that time.
And she would just bring them in. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. Whatever. We have cats. We're good.
But yeah, that was, man, that was a long time ago though. That was when we were living in,
El Monte.
was it in El Monte? No.
Yeah, it was El Monte. We lived in El Monte most of the time. That's when Terry lived across the street. The cats were there and the dog was there.
There was no cat there.
Yes, there was.
No,
Murphy.
that was when we were in
East LA?
East LA.
No.
That was when we were in
Murphy. No, Murphy was there, dude. The brown cat was Murphy, and then the calico cat was the one in East LA. Yes,
Nah.
yeah. And we had Khan
Yeah, we had Pooch
and
and
Khan.
Khan,
Yeah,
the two Chow Chows.
yeah,
Those were cool dogs. They were good dogs. They were.
yeah,
I mean, I love those dogs. You know, I was sad when they died. You
yeah,
know, I actually cried when Dog died
yeah. Dog.
and when Pooch died. When when she had to put him down and
Yeah,
all that. And they grew up with me. I
yeah,
mean, literally, we were both babies and grew up together until my teenage years, and
yeah,
they lived a long life with. But yeah, that was cool though.
yeah. I mean, I mean, I guess after like high school, then we tried. I mean, I was just I try to include everybody when I do a thing. I don't. You're sitting there, if you're there, like, come hang out. Let's go do this. Let's go do that.
Yeah,
And if I go do something, I'm not gonna uninclude you if you're just gonna sit there. It was up to Granny. She's like, "Take Jason." You know, where are you going? A lot of times I left on my motorcycle, but when I was in the car, we went
yeah, yeah, yeah.
we go do stuff. The van and my Volkswagen
Mhm.
van.
Yeah,
We used to go to Mark's house, Uncle Mark, and
yeah,
go hang out. Yeah, it was just like the childhood was just it was different. We had some fun out there.
yeah. It was fun.
I mean, over my house, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
I try to make it as fun as possible. I still try to make it as fun as possible. Me and Jordan just do, we're out there and we just
Yeah,
he
I
can't play
remember all
basketball.
the.
He does not play basketball. He can't play football. He can't play. I mean, this Jordan's a
You
gaming guy.
sure you're son?
Jordan's gamer, dude.
Yeah, I'm like, come
He's
on, we play sports. That's what we did. That's what we do. You know?
Jordan's a gamer. He played like soccer and stuff and when he was younger, but he's more of a video game guy.
Yeah.
He's really good at video games.
Well, he's a millennial.
Yeah. Yeah, he does his thing.
So yeah, but yeah, I mean,
So how about like your sister? What's up with your sister?
my sister, my brother, they're probably around same age as Jordan. It
Yeah.
was like I said, I was the only child for like
Oh yeah, you
12
were.
years, so they weren't. My brother was born when I was like right about to turn 13, and then my sister was born like a year later.
I thought your sister was older.
No, my sister's a baby. She's the
Really?
baby,
Oh,
and then
much I know about that. Damn. I just know about the other two brothers that were at the house.
oh
Man,
yeah,
why?
well, those are
Why?
my other
Yeah,
brothers from
yeah,
my dad.
yeah. And that was the same, that was the same thing. So,
Yeah, exactly. They were
exactly.
both. I didn't have no siblings, and then my dad and my mom had two kids back to back,
Yeah,
like in the same years.
yeah,
And so now all of a sudden I had four
yeah,
siblings, and I was already 13 years old.
yeah. And
So it was,
two of them were living with us most of the time.
yeah, and I couldn't, but it was like, I was hard to relate because
Yeah,
it's like I'm already a teenager,
yeah,
and they're babies. So
yeah.
it was like, um, like I couldn't handle all the crying and
Yeah,
the,
me neither.
like,
Why are they here?
like, well, I can't deal with
Yeah,
this. Like, I
my,
don't know how to handle them. Like,
yeah,
here, take this.
yeah. My mom
Yeah,
taking care of most of them. Like, what the hell's going on? Like, don't you have
yeah.
parents? Only thing about that, we got new clothes all the time.
Mm,
We always got new clothes, new shoes, new clothes.
that is true. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know where all the clothes came from, but
I do.
they were there.
That's how we got clothes.
They were there. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
You want this? You want that?
Yeah,
Oh
that
man.
is. I forgot about that until you just said that right now. I was
Yep, we
like,
always
wow,
always
okay.
laced up. Always laced up.
Yeah, that is true. They were brand new clothes.
Yeah.
Just show up at the house. I was
Yeah.
like, okay,
Yeah.
cool, cool.
Yeah, fun times. Oh, some fun times, some not so fun, but whatever.
Yeah, I
They were
mean,
times, right? They
they
were times.
were, they were the formative years that helped shape me, you know.
Yeah,
And I mean, overall, it was like, you know, how can I put it? Like, I'm, I'm glad, for my childhood, but everything I went through, shaped me to become the man that I am today, But at those times, a lot of it was difficult. It was a lot. It was difficult to deal with. It was difficult to go through, to experience a lot of this stuff, and um, like I wish that I had a better way to deal with everything.
yeah,
I wish I had an avenue to like express my emotions and how I was feeling and what I was dealing with, and instead of just holding everything in, instead of just
yeah,
sucking it up and hey, come on, get on with stuff. It's gonna be all right.
yeah. That's Granny though. That's how she.
Yeah,
That's how she. Actually, that's how my mom and my dad are both. Just like,
yeah,
let's go. Like my brother. You know Arlen.
yeah,
He was playing football. He got hit in the field. And he got up and walked off. Like, no, no, lay down. He said, you, my dad's up in the stands. he, told, he told me don't show anybody you're hurt. So he got
yeah,
out. He ended up like, I think like broke a rib or something. But he was in pain. Like, no, 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 no. I gotta go off the bench. We
yeah,
could talk about this on the bench. Same thing with
exactly.
me. I used to race, and Granny's take me to go race, and I did my best. If I fall down, I had to get up and finish the race. Just they don't want to
Yeah.
see it. What are you doing? I came all the way out here. I came all the way out here, brought you out here to race, and you're gonna quit. you know,
Yeah,
you know.
that's true.
And after that's over, you get home, and she would be like, see, then if I'm hurt, I'm at home. She'd take care of me, do whatever. What do you need? And she'd be, there. But that love was just a little different. You know.
Yeah,
But
it was.
but you knew they were there to whatever.
That's
And the same
true.
thing that she did the same thing with you. She did the same thing with even Terry comes over. Same thing with Terry. Same thing with
Hmm.
Mike. Same thing with all my friends, even Anthony's friends.
Hmm.
They even to now, like the way she treats like she talks to them. She talks to them like she'll talk shit,
Yeah,
but she'll talk shit.
I mean,
But then
she's good at that.
yeah, and then but then when she talks to them, she makes like she'll like talk shit about you. There's fun stuff that she talks about, but then she'll say some reality shit, and
Yeah.
but you gotta like just that's her. And she's comfortable how she is, and that's how she's been. And yeah, so then Jordan sees it a lot. Like if Jordan was here, he'd be like, "Oh yes, Granny, it's no filter, no filter," and she's just gonna tell you how it is, and that's how that the family's grown up, and like you, unfortunately, well, fortunately, but unfortunately, you were in the same thing, but because we did, I mean, we're kind of the same. Remember except for my mom, but my dad had two kids
Mhm.
after I was older already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's Arlen and Robin.
Hmm.
And they were here what? They're 42 and 43. 43 and 44. How old are you?
Um, 43. I'll be
Yeah.
44
Yeah, so
in June.
44 and 46. So what, they're like 10. I was the same thing, like 11, 10, 11, 12, right
Hmm.
there. So they were born the same thing, you
Yeah.
know? And I'm like, hey, taking my shine. You know what I mean? This,
I mean, that's true.
you
That
know,
is true.
I'm
I
right. I was
mean,
like, this is it. I was
I
all the attention,
remember
all eyes on me. Now all of a sudden,
that is true
what is
because I remember it was like I was that was one thing like birthdays and whatever, Christmas, like, oh, I was spoiled. I was getting spoiled. I was getting everything,
Yeah.
and if my mom didn't want to get it, Granny's getting it. You
Yes.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, all I had to do was mention it to her, and she's gonna do everything in her power to make sure I get that present, what I
Yeah.
wanted, and I mean, that's a benefit of being an only child,
Yeah. Yeah. Then all of a sudden, the other two kids come like, first one comes, be like, what the hell? And then another one. Hey.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's kind of hard. Like it is kind of hard to like they're there all of a sudden, and you try and be, you're there and you with them, but it's
Mhm.
not. It's just different. Like even with Arlen, it's different. Like our we have a good bond, me and my sister bond, but just
Yeah, because
yeah.
you're
Well, and also it's a different. That's different. The way like I'm saying, Granny, the way she had it, and then the way my stepmom is. They're two different people.
yeah, so they're
The funny
raised
part is
differently.
they get along so good.
Yeah.
They get along really good and just talk shit about my dad.
Is that right?
Yeah, like you won, good. My mom told her like, oh, well, you won. That's yours.
That's your prize, huh?
Yeah, and they just joke about it, have fun. But my mom goes, we go to all the family reunions, and then when you were there, you went to all those like, Christmas, and I took you all that stuff with
Yeah.
them, and it was, and they like you were like, well, you're part of. Even they always wonder like, how's Jason? They always ask it.
Yeah.
Arlen says when you come over, so this Thanksgiving if you're available, or 4th of July, or
What?
go to
Yeah.
his house and see his
Yeah,
family, see
that way
his
you
tribe out
guys
there.
can meet my wife. Or
Yeah,
I mean, you've met her,
yeah, man.
but I mean, I don't think they have. But
Now they haven't. Well, he hasn't even seen you. Remember? Just talked to you on the phone real quick.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you can see his 4 kids, and
That's crazy.
yeah, Robin has 2. Arlen has 4.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
That's
they're
crazy.
going crazy.
It's crazy they have all these kids and I have none.
Well,
Nah,
no
it's too
matter
late
what,
for me.
no
I
matter what they
ain't.
say on, like this new age, but I don't think you can have kids in there.
I can't. I'm not. That's not in the cards for me. I'm like just having my grandson. My wife has 2 kids. I have 2 stepsons, and so the oldest he has a son, and he calls me grandpa.
Yeah,
I'm grandpa to him, and hey, that's I love that kid.
yeah.
Like but just having him like one day a week, man, it could be difficult.
It's different,
And
yeah.
I think about like to have a kid at this age and just have to deal with that all the time.
Think about like you think when I like Jordan when he came, like I had Jordan, I'm like, dude, I'm selfish. Like, dude, really? I gotta share stuff with that's the biggest thing. When you grow up, you do your thing, you're fun. The kids, like some people want to have kids, and I was racing, I was doing my thing, doing whatever, and then I have a son. Damn it, now I gotta buy him stuff. I would buy you stuff, and we do and whatever, and Arlen, and
Hmm.
but now he's there all the time. He was there all the time, Jordan.
Yeah,
After 6 months, but yeah, he was there all the
yeah,
time.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah, you know his mom, so
That I
what
did.
what
I
little
did know
what
Margaret.
what little you knew about her, but yeah, she was there. So.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's funny we get along good now.
that's cool. That's cool. I
Yeah,
mean,
decent. We get along
hey,
good.
like Granny softening in her age. I mean, hey, you guys are probably have done the same
Yeah,
to an extent.
yeah, you gotta.
Yeah,
It's like he's still gonna be there.
yeah, for
Yeah, we
sure.
still gotta meet each other. So yeah, a lot of it's my fault. It was my fault. I wasn't that. Yeah, I wasn't the most loving and loyal person in the world, but yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen a lot of things in that household.
Yeah,
You know.
I try to hide a lot of stuff from you, so
Yeah, but I
just
mean, I've still seen a lot.
keep the door closed, just
Still seen a lot.
you know.
Seen a lot of comings and goings and goings ons and
Yeah,
all that different stuff. So
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. You can only hide so much, and
yeah, I mean,
but
kids are pretty perceptive.
yeah, yeah.
So
But all right, well, that's pretty cool. We did like family in the first part of your journey, and
mhm.
then let's end this one, and then we'll do part 2. We'll do something else, It'll be, what do you think? Or, yeah, because I mean, I think for people, the whole 6 hours or 8 hours out of your life that's going to come out of this, it'll be do a little bit at a time, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a lot to take in at one shot.
yeah. All right, everybody. So this is Jason. We'll call this as part one, and then yeah, we're gonna come back and have another installment of this conversation. It's great. It's a great story, and it's pretty inspiring to a lot of people. To help keep them on track and see where you are, and maybe if anything he does, that I mean, he's a good dude. He was a good kid. No matter what happened, I'd still, from what I seen, I probably missed it a little bit, but he was a good kid. Always, I thought. I think he's a good person, and where he's at now, he's in a really good spot, and still trying to get better and better every day. So yeah. Thanks, Jason, for this today, and we'll do some more, and let's keep going.
All right.
All right. So,
For
all right,
sure.
everybody. Like and subscribe. 24 Slayton on all platforms and YouTube. Give us a comment. See what you think. All right. We're out.
Peace.